Los Angeles has often served as a central stage for global artists, and for BTS, it has become a recurring hub for creative development, music production, and international appearances. When members of the group are spotted in the city, the news spreads quickly among fans and media outlets, creating waves of speculation about upcoming projects or behind-the-scenes negotiations. In this context, the appearance of Taehyung, also known as V of BTS, drew immediate attention. Observers noted his arrival in LA was not merely casual. It coincided with several entertainment industry events and studio activities that hinted at a deeper agenda. The story began to take shape when Taehyung was seen engaging with figures linked to both the music and film industries in Los Angeles. For many years, BTS members have used the city as a base for international recordings, collaborations, and even fashion shoots. The media presence in Los Angeles makes it almost impossible for high-profile artists to move unnoticed, and Taehyung's activities were no exception. Each sighting was recorded, analyzed, and debated online, with ARMY and non-fans alike questioning the reason for his stay. At the same time, Jungkook, another BTS member, was also in LA. His presence was already associated with gym appearances, fashion endorsements, and rumored recording sessions. Although the two were not always seen together, the overlapping schedules suggested that their time in Los Angeles was interconnected. Some outlets speculated that the members were preparing for a group project or at least aligned in terms of personal schedules. This overlap set the stage for what would later be interpreted as a revealing moment. The incident that became central to this narrative occurred in an environment where cameras and fans were both present. Reports stated that Taehyung, while responding to a casual question, made a statement that was quickly described as shocking by media headlines. The words themselves were not delivered with visible intent to cause disruption, but the weight of his revelation and the timing in which it was spoken created an unexpected ripple effect. For observers, it was a rare case of a BTS member stepping outside the usually carefully managed communication pattern. As soon as the comment circulated online, attention shifted to Jungkook. Sources on site described his reaction as restrained, but visibly affected. While he did not provide an immediate statement, his demeanor suggested that the subject carried personal weight. Cameras captured moments of silence, gestures that seemed contemplative, and an overall aura of contained emotion. For a figure so often described as professional under public scrutiny, this was unusual. The headlines that followed inevitably paired Taehyung's shocking fact with Jungkook's inability to fully conceal his feelings. To understand why this development gained traction, it is important to examine BTS's dynamic in Los Angeles more broadly. Historically, LA has hosted some of their most defining milestones: major concerts at iconic stadiums, high-profile award show appearances, and even the filming of their reality series. Each visit carries symbolic weight, reinforcing the city as a backdrop where significant narratives unfold. Therefore, the context of Taehyung's revelation was not seen as accidental. Many analysts suggested that if such a statement was to be made, Los Angeles was the stage where it would receive global amplification. The atmosphere surrounding the group during this visit was marked by both anticipation and uncertainty. HYB, the company managing BTS, maintained its usual strategy of controlled silence, offering no immediate clarification. This lack of corporate commentary only fueled speculation further. Media outlets published contrasting interpretations, some treating Taehyung's statement as a simple, personal disclosure, while others framed it as an intentional message directed at both fans and the industry. Meanwhile, social media accelerated the spread, with hashtags climbing rapidly in trending lists. Observers who witnessed the event in person described the environment as tense yet restrained. Unlike moments of orchestrated publicity, this was spontaneous. Taehyung's words were not delivered on a stage or during a scheduled press event, but in a semi-casual setting, which made them appear more authentic and therefore more impactful. Jungkook's reaction, caught in the same frame, gave the impression of immediacy, as though the weight of the revelation was being processed in real time. This opening chapter in the unfolding narrative positioned Los Angeles as more than just a location. It became the canvas for a moment that combined spontaneity, public exposure, and internal dynamics within BTS. By the end of the day, international media had already begun piecing together speculative timelines, attempting to contextualize the shocking fact within the group's broader journey. Some framed it as an individual member's personal statement, while others suggested it hinted at collective decisions affecting BTS's near future. What remains clear is that this was not a passing comment lost in the noise of entertainment news. It marked the beginning of a story that would continue to develop across subsequent reports, analyses, and discussions. As Los Angeles once again played host to a pivotal BTS narrative, the world turned its attention to the details of what was said, how it was received, and what it might mean moving forward. Teo fully grasped the significance of Taehyung's revelation in Los Angeles. It is necessary to examine the broader framework of BTS's activities in the city. For more than a decade, BTS has balanced its global presence through strategic use of key international hubs, and among them, Los Angeles holds a distinct position. Unlike Seoul, which anchors their cultural and personal roots, or New York, which often serves as a platform for award ceremonies and diplomatic engagements, Los Angeles has consistently been associated with the group's creative expansion and Western visibility. The group's history in LA can be traced back to their early years when they traveled there for training, collaborations, and exposure to the American music scene. Over time, this evolved into a pattern. BTS's major Western breakthroughs, from award show performances to stadium concerts, were often linked to Los Angeles. Their visits created a rhythm, a recurring moment when both fans and industry observers anticipated new developments. Each time they set foot in LA, speculation heightened. Were they filming new content, recording with international producers, or preparing for announcements? During the period in which Taehyung made his statement, Los Angeles was again a point of convergence. Various sightings placed members at recording studios, fashion-related locations, and fitness centers. Jungkook in particular was frequently noted for his consistent gym sessions and interactions linked to ongoing brand commitments. Taehyung, meanwhile, was rumored to be exploring ventures beyond music, possibly connected to acting or other creative collaborations. These separate but parallel activities created the impression of individual pursuits occurring within a shared geographic and symbolic context. Industry insiders often describe LA as a neutral zone for BTS. While Seoul represents the operational headquarters under HYB, Los Angeles allows for freer exploration. The group can interact with producers, directors, and collaborators in a less structured environment. However, this freedom also increases the likelihood of unscripted moments making their way into the public eye. Taehyung's candid words and Jungkook's visible response exemplified how quickly a single incident can shift the narrative when it occurs in a city that amplifies every gesture. The media presence in LA intensifies this effect. Local paparazzi, entertainment journalists, and international correspondents are constantly alert for high-profile appearances. BTS, being a globally recognized act, cannot move without generating attention. This environment makes spontaneous revelations doubly impactful, as they are not only recorded but immediately transmitted across platforms. When Taehyung made his statement, it was captured in real time, leaving little room for reinterpretation or delay. The immediacy of this coverage gave the incident a sense of urgency, as though the audience was witnessing the unfolding of a story without mediation. While much of the attention centered on Taehyung and Jungkook, the other members of BTS also contributed to the LA narrative. Jin, Jimin, RM, Suga, and J-Hope had their own activities, whether related to personal projects or group business. Their movements were less prominently reported during this specific period, but the collective presence of BTS in the United States reinforced the idea that the group was preparing for larger-scale developments. In the absence of official statements, each fragment of information became magnified by the public. This pattern reflects a larger trend in how BTS operates internationally. Unlike traditional promotional cycles, where schedules are formally announced, the group often allows anticipation to build through indirect sightings and unconfirmed reports. This creates an atmosphere of continuous speculation. Los Angeles, with its open visibility and concentration of global media, functions as the perfect stage for such developments. By the end of their LA stay, BTS had once again demonstrated how their mere presence in the city could generate a cascade of interpretations. What distinguished this visit from previous ones was not a planned concert or scheduled broadcast, but rather an unanticipated moment of disclosure. This set the foundation for subsequent debates about meaning, intention, and consequence. Los Angeles, in this sense, was not just a backdrop but an active participant in shaping the narrative, amplifying every word and reaction into global headlines. Taehyung's presence in Los Angeles during this period attracted immediate attention, not only because of his status as a BTS member, but also due to the particular circumstances in which he was observed. For an artist of his caliber, any appearance in a city like LA is rarely seen as coincidental. Fans, journalists, and industry insiders all approached his stay as something worth analyzing, raising questions about whether it was purely personal, professional, or a combination of both. From the very beginning, the details of Taehyung's movements invited speculation. He was seen arriving at the airport with minimal entourage, which was unusual given the scale of security typically surrounding BTS members. Some argued that this suggested an attempt at discretion, while others interpreted it as a sign that his trip was not tied to official group schedules, but rather to independent projects. In Los Angeles, such independence could mean anything from private meetings with producers to involvement in film-related opportunities. Shortly after his arrival, multiple unverified reports began circulating online. One claim suggested that Taehyung had been seen entering a studio frequently used by international pop artists. Another noted that he attended a private dinner with individuals linked to Hollywood management firms. These accounts, while not officially confirmed, added fuel to the narrative that his trip carried professional weight. Fans amplified these possibilities, creating threads on social media that mapped potential collaborations, ranging from Western musicians to luxury fashion houses. At the same time, Taehyung was also observed in casual settings, walking along Melrose Avenue, attending art-related exhibitions, and enjoying the city's cafe culture. These activities reinforced his well-known reputation as someone who balances artistry with lifestyle interests. However, even these moments of leisure were scrutinized, as fans speculated whether his appearances were intentionally visible or simply coincidental encounters with the public eye. In Los Angeles, where celebrity sightings are quickly documented, it was difficult to determine whether Taehyung was moving freely or whether his visibility was a calculated part of a larger narrative. The speculations reached their peak when Taehyung made the comment later described as a shocking fact. This statement, delivered during what appeared to be a casual interaction, immediately shifted the conversation. Until that point, discussions had largely revolved around potential projects. Afterward, the focus turned toward the content of his words and the implications for BTS as a whole. The fact that this occurred in Los Angeles only amplified its significance, as the city provided an international platform where even offhand remarks could be transformed into global news. In order to understand why Taehyung's presence in LA carried such weight, it is important to recognize his role within BTS's broader structure. Known for his deep voice, artistic sensibilities, and crossover appeal into fashion and film, Taehyung often symbolizes the group's versatility. Whenever he is seen engaging with industries outside of music, speculation arises that BTS may be expanding its influence into new domains. This dual image, musician and global artist, made his time in Los Angeles especially intriguing. Fans wondered whether the revelation he made was linked to a personal exploration of opportunities or whether it was connected to group activities. Meanwhile, entertainment analysts pointed out that the timing of his visit coincided with several major industry events in LA, including music festivals, award ceremonies, and film premieres. His presence during this window raised questions about whether he intended to participate, observe, or align with certain industry figures. Each appearance or rumor became part of a larger puzzle, fueling debates over what Taehyung's true objectives were. The ambiguity surrounding his movements also highlighted the delicate balance that BTS members must maintain between privacy and visibility. On one hand, fans expect transparency and continuous updates. On the other hand, the artists themselves often seek moments of independence and exploration outside of structured group schedules. Los Angeles, as both a global hub and a city accustomed to celebrity presence, offered Taehyung a setting where he could attempt to navigate this balance. However, the shocking fact he revealed disrupted this equilibrium by introducing a narrative that could not easily be contained. Following the incident, commentators debated whether Taehyung had intentionally revealed sensitive information or whether it was an unguarded moment. Some argued that his candidness was refreshing, a sign of authenticity in an industry often criticized for excessive management. Others cautioned that even a seemingly small disclosure could have significant consequences, especially when amplified by international media. The fact that Jungkook appeared affected by this statement further complicated matters, as it suggested that the content of Taehyung's words had interpersonal implications within BTS. Speculation extended beyond the immediate context. Social media users began revisiting past interviews, live streams, and performances, searching for clues that might connect to the revelation. Some fans claimed that Taehyung had previously hinted at similar thoughts in indirect ways, while others insisted that the statement was unprecedented. This retrospective analysis reinforced the idea that his presence in LA was not random but part of a developing storyline that had yet to reach its conclusion. In the broader media landscape, Taehyung's revelation was framed as part of BTS's ongoing evolution. Commentators noted that the group is navigating a transitional period marked by individual projects, mandatory military service, and questions about the timing of their collective return. Within this context, any personal statement from a member can be interpreted as symbolic of larger dynamics. Taehyung's words, coupled with Jungkook's visible reaction, became representative of the tension between personal expression and group identity. By the end of his stay, Taehyung had successfully captured attention on multiple fronts. Whether through professional rumors, lifestyle sightings, or the unexpected statement that triggered widespread discussion, his time in Los Angeles became more than just a visit. It was a